The real estate market is crashing. We are going into recession. The interest rates are way too high and no one is going to buy a house. And the list can go on and on and on. There are so many crazy headlines going on with the national real estate market, but we got to remember that real estate is very, very hyper-local. What's happening in Texas, California, and Florida is definitely different from what's happening here in the Chicagoland area. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my thoughts and my predictions on what's going to happen in the 2023 real estate market here in the Chicagoland area, and we're getting after it right now. Check it out. Welcome back to this channel. My name is Blankenship, your favorite YouTube and Chicagoland realtor. And if you didn't hear, the 2022 real estate market here in the Chicago suburbs was absolutely crazy. To put it into perspective, the first 6 months of the year, you could probably list your house on the market with pink tiles, blue walls, very ugly drapes, and still probably get a lot of showings on the weekend and multiple offers. You'll probably sell your house over list price. But nowadays, that is not the case. At the beginning of the year, the interest rates were hovering around that 3% mark. And I still remember in the first rate hike towards like the end of February, early March, that the real estate market went absolutely berserk because everyone felt like they'd missed that boat of, low 3%, high 2% interest rates. But honestly, that was probably like a gift of God. Everyone just wanted to buy a home, and there was just so much pent-up demand, especially with the inventory issue that was in the Chicago suburbs was drastically low compared to what we've seen over the past few years and compared to history. The strategy of that market was pretty much, if you're a home seller, you would list sell your home on a Thursday, start showing on a Friday, show throughout the weekend, and you'd probably expect multiple offers by Sunday, and you would call for your highest and best by Monday morning, and you and your realtor would negotiate those offers and figure out what the highest and best terms for you and what offer was going to actually get to the closing table. And if you were a buyer in that situation, seeing that home, putting an offer in on that home, in that multiple offer scenario, you were probably going over list price, waiving your appraisal, and probably naming your firstborn kid after the seller. It was honestly pretty crazy. But as we went through the rest of the year, specifically like midsummer, things have definitely started to change. Interest rates started going up. Groceries were going up. Me going to Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, those prices were going up. Gas was up. Everything was pretty much up, and interest rates were up as well. So there was a big affordability issue, especially when we combined the fact that there's still no inventory in the real estate market, especially the Chicago suburbs. And it was causing that tension for buyers being tired of the past 18 to 24 months of writing these bidding wars and everything like that and going way over list, way an appraisal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We had one point a few months ago where interest rates were at 7.8%. And just imagine a current homeowner that wanted to upsize or downsize, but they currently had a 3% interest rate. Imagine going from that jump from a 3% interest rate to a high 7 interest rate, or just over 7% interest rate in general. That's a big difference in mortgage payment, whether you're downsizing or upsizing. And here's my one shameless plug in the video is that if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see. And if you're considering buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in the Chicagoland area, whether it be tomorrow or next year, my team and I would be absolutely honored to help you out. Call, text, shoot me an email. All my information is down below in the description. But I also get a lot of conversations on, Brandon, when is the real estate market going to crash? Brandon, where am I going to find these deals? And my truth to that answer is that I really don't have a crystal ball. I can just see the numbers of what's happening with the interest rates, what's happening in our local markets in terms of, the past 2 years, 5 years, and look at kind of the trends of what's happening. And at the end of the day, I tell my clients, people buy and sell real estate because of life changes. Whether they get a job relocation, they are having, families, there's a death in the family, and that list can go on and on as well. A lot of my clients understand that, rates go up and down, right? The home of their dreams might not come up, multiple times a year compared to it has in the past, but, that's kind of like a risk you're going to have to take and really figure out what's most important to you and your family going forward. Here in DuPage County, where I primarily service, I'm probably going to look down on my iPad and read some numbers real quick, but inventory is much, much lower compared to what it was in 2022, 2021 and 2020, and going into 2023, it's going to be the same thing. And when I look at the trends from what's happened from December that goes into January, February, March, kind of that first quarter of the year, we see that little bit of increased inventory until we get to the spring market. I don't know if we're going to really see that this year in 2023. So look at November 2022 showed 2555 homes for sale, was 657 homes under contract, while in November 2021, we saw 3,382 homes for sale with 10,090 homes for under contract. And interest rates were much, much lower in 2021 in November compared to November of 2022. I talked about in November 2021 and towards the beginning of 2022, interest rates were still hovering around that 3% range, 3.5% interest. But here in November 2022, rates at one point, like I said, we're at 7.8, and they're kind of hovering around when I'm making this video around that 6.5% mark. The question that I have to ask you guys is that if there was a hypothetical real estate market crash, how would it happen if there's no inventory on the market? My opinion is that the real estate market would kind of just stop if the interest rates kept on rising and rising and rising. But that's truly my opinion. That's kind of what I see from the numbers and everything like that. My thoughts on the 2023 real estate market is that there's a lot of pent-up demand when it comes to people wanting to buy a house and people that are wanting to sell their house and get out of Illinois or just upsize or downsize their home. I have kind of two thoughts on what the market will do if things happen with interest rates. I think interest rates are really the dictator of this real estate market, especially in the Chicago suburbs. We just have no inventory here. I think with the Chicago suburbs, primarily where I service, we have a lot of infrastructure in place. We have the big city of Chicago, areas where I live, like Glenelg, Wheaton, Naperville. There's a lot of infrastructure in terms of homes already built up, not really time use, subdivisions getting put up. But like I said, interest rates right now are around that 6.5% mark. Right now in 2023, there's like no inventory compared to what it was in 2022, 2021, 2020. Like, we're much less. It's pretty crazy, honestly. But in my opinion, if rates go to that 5%, 5.5% interest rate, I think the market's going to be much, much crazier compared to what it was in the beginning of 2022. And my reasoning for that is that, like I said, with a lot of pent-up demand, I think the transition from having a 3.5% interest rate and selling your house and going to like a 5.5 is much more practical in my opinion. You got to still run the numbers if the mortgage is comfortable for you, but comparing to going from a 3.5% to like a 7.5%. And I think if the rates go above 7.5% interest rate, I think the market will just like stop. I don't think there would be like a significant crash or anything like that. I think prices will get adjusted and all that good stuff. At the end of the day, people are still going to be buying and selling homes. I mean, I have a lot of clients that are still out there figuring out what they're going to do when they're purchasing. And I have a lot of clients that are looking to put their house on the market and trying to figure out the next chapter of their life. And that goes back to what I was saying is that at the end of the day, my clients right here, they're talking about it's a life change, right? They're going for a job relocation. They had a new baby, so they need one more bedroom, and that list can go on and on and on. And my suggestion to you and my advice is that if you're looking to make a move in the real estate market in 2023, contact a real estate professional and just see what they're seeing in the market. My thoughts of what I'm seeing might be different from another broker, but that's kind of just my opinion on what's happening and what's going to happen in the 2023 real estate market. It's going to be rather crazy. If you've seen any of my prediction videos before in the past, my thoughts are going back watching those videos that my predictions were pretty spot on. If you enjoyed this video, watch one of these videos up here. And if you had any thoughts about buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in the Chicagoland area, give me a call. Shoot me an email. My information is down below in the description. My team and I would be honored to help you guys out. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video.